नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं संजय सिंह आपका सेल्स कोच। दोस्तों, आज मैं आपके साथ एक नई सीरीज चालू कर रहा हूं। आइए थोड़ी सी टेलीकॉलर्स की दुनिया में जाते हैं। टेलीकॉलर्स भी आज के युग में हमारे एक मुख्य सेल्स डिपार्टमेंट के अंग बन चुके हैं, बिकॉज इन टुडेज चेंजिंग सिनेरियो most of the lead generation is now happening through telecalling, and hence in that perspective it's important for all of us to understand the algorithm of telecalling. In this video I'm going to share with you 5 strong traits of a good telecaller. सबसे पहली बात दोस्तों, टेलीकॉलर जो है वो फोन के थ्रू अपनी पर्सनालिटी, अपनी कैरेक्टर, अपने प्रोडक्ट की ब्रांड इमेज, अपनी प्रोडक्ट की क्वालिटी, सारा कुछ अपने वॉइस के थ्रू व्यक्त कर रहा है। You know, the entire ethos of the product and the brand of the telecaller actually is translated to the customer through the voice. So trait number 1, it's very important for a good telecaller to have a nice, pleasant voice. It's not only important that you have a nice, pleasant voice, but the pleasant voice must modulate. The telecaller must know how to modulate his or her voice well. Let me take an example. The telecalling starts with a greeting. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Now, this greeting itself can make or mar your telecall, because just in one greeting you are able to explain, or you are able to communicate to the listener whether he should be interested to talk to you or not. Let me share 2-3 different kinds of good morning to you. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Now I'm sure you understand that the last good morning that I did with you, with a good morning, sir, was pleasant. It sounds pleasant because there is modulation in that, there is a sense of definiteness in that, and the telecaller kind of communicates that he or she is talking to someone he or she already knows. You know, when you are talking to a friend of yours after a long time, this is the kind of modulation you have in your voice. So when you are a telecaller and when you greet or your voice modulates, it should always communicate to the listener that he is talking to someone he knows. Maybe he doesn't know you, but the moment he feels that he is talking to someone he knows, he gets into a back foot trying to understand who exactly is he talking to. And that's the first victory of a good telecaller. That's trait number 1. Have a nice, pleasant voice which modulates. Now, having worked on your voice, we now need to take it further and understand that a good telecaller must follow a script, because a telecalling is not an open-ended storytelling. Your telecalling should not take more than 2 to 3 minutes time to complete the call. Now, if it is a phenomenon which has to be done in a limited period of time, you got to plan your call. So the second important point of a good telecaller is, have you planned your call according to script? Have you planned your call according to preset milestones? If not, then there are every chances of you to lose sense of the call and to every time have an average talking time which is beyond 2 minutes or 3 minutes in the worst scenario, which is not good. Trait number 3 of a good telecaller is, when you are telecalling, you got to be asking questions to the client. You got to be asking questions to the listener or the person that you are trying to talk to, because telecalling is not about trying to download a sense of information that is there with you. No. Telecalling is all about trying to find the best fit of the information that you have in your mind that you want to communicate to the person and the potential needs of the customer that you're trying to talk to, because only when you find a good fit, you will be able to take it forward. Trait number 4 of a good telecaller is always end the call with a thank you. with a modulated voice, with a very pleasant thank you, no matter what. No matter whatever is the content of the discussion, whether it was pleasant, whether it was unpleasant, whether it was in your favor or whether it was not in your favor, doesn't matter. You will still end the telecall with a very pleasant thank you, because that is the karma of a good telecaller. So friends, I just discussed 4 important traits of a good telecaller with you. Trait number 1, you should have a nice modulated voice. Trait number 2, you need to plan your telecall with a prior script and milestones. Trait number 3, you got to be asking questions to the person you're talking to. And trait number 4, you got to thank your customer at the end of the call, no matter what. Having understood these 4 important traits of telecalling, let us probe a bit deeper into the kind of broad template that your script must follow. Irrespective of the product or service that you are trying to do an outbound telecalling for, there is a broad template which your script must follow. And now I am going to take you to that template and explain to you how to prepare your telecalling script which fits into that template so that you become a smart telecaller. Yes friends, that is trait number 5, your ability to prepare a great script according to the template that I am just going to show to you. Now this is the template which I was just talking with you about. This is a broad generic template on which all telecalling scripts can be retrofitted. Let's quickly look at the template. This is where your telecalling starts. Once the telecalling starts, you do a greeting. Now when you do a greeting, the person on the other side should also greet you back. So in some of my earlier videos, I have spoken to you about the ping-pong theory of sales, where we say that do a ping and wait for a pong from the customer. So do a greeting and wait for a greeting back from the customer. When that happens, then I say yes, the customer has greeted you back, and this template goes forward. In case that does not happen, which is a no, in that case I will retry. So I will retry my greeting and wait for the customer to greet me. So that is a yes. And that is how this loop gets complete. In case when I retry and the customer doesn't greet me back, I think it's my bad luck. Today is not the day, so I stop the call. Alright? I'm sure when you greet your customer with a nice, pleasant, modulated voice, this will not happen with you. So your call will go forward. Now when your call moves forward, the first communication that you have to do with the client is explain the concept behind the communication that you're trying to make. So if you're trying to sell an insurance policy, life insurance policy, don't talk about the policy that you're trying to sell. Talk about the concept behind a life insurance policy. So at this juncture, I would say that I will talk about the risks of life, because the concept behind life insurance policy is the risks that a person's life has got, on which he could die, he could have disability, he could have meet with an accident. So these are the broad risks. So at this juncture, when I'm trying to talk about the concept behind my product, I would say that we are into the business of covering you with all the risks associated with your life, whether it is accident, whether it is disability, whether it is any kind of disease like cancer, So when you talk about the concept and not the product, and if the customer shows interest, that's where I write yes, because when I say yes, that means the concept that you're trying to communicate to the customer is interested in it. So the call moves forward. In case the customer is not interested in the concept that we are trying to sell, that's a no. So retry to sell the same concept with a different script. Okay, and when you do that retry, and if you're successful, your call comes back again to the main line. If you are not successful, then stop your call. This is time to stop your call. assume that the concept has been explained in such a way with a nice script, the customer goes in for it, then the next is for you to talk about a solution and not yet talk about any product. So taking forward my example, suppose you are running an AutoCAD training institute and you are a telecaller for an AutoCAD training institute, which is a design engineering software. So you have already started with the concept, when we talk about the concept of the importance of automation in design engineering. That's the concept, and the customer says, yes, I'm interested. And then I go on to the solution where I say that, would you like to come and participate in a demo class where you could learn more about automation of design engineering software? Now that's the kind of solution I'm talking about. In my earlier example of life insurance policy, I would say that, would you like to understand more about the various kinds of risks that are associated and do a risk assessment of your life? That's the kind of solution I'm talking about. So I first pitch the concept, then I pitch the solution, and if the customer says yes to the solution, then I go ahead and fix an appointment for the customer. If I fail in explaining the solution, I again retry. If I fail in the retrial, I close my call. If I pass, I take a yes. And the last step of the script is fix an appointment. So the job of telecaller is not to sell on the phone. The job of telecaller is to fix an appointment on the phone as far as possible. And I'm talking of outbound telecalling. So when you fix a call, your sales team can go and meet the customer, or sometimes when you can go out and meet the customer, but don't try to oversell on the phone itself. And that's where you fix the appointment and then you finish. So friends, trait number 5 of a good telecaller is, he or she will prepare a script according to this broad template, and once your script retrofits into this template, you start using that script and become the greatest telecaller in this world. Once you understand the basic nuances of telecalling, you are a prized asset for any company. So, if you want to increase your market value, go out and follow these 5 traits.